Your turn, Yugi boy.
What is up, guys? This is Limpio coming at you with an updated version of my Herald to Perfection deck with the beautiful, where are they? The pre-preparation of rites. So without further ado, I'll go straight into it. This one, sorry for hitting the camera, has taken on a lot of changes just because of pre-preparation of rites. So we have the 2 Herald to Perfection. Now, I want to go on to a bit of discussion as to why I'm only playing 2 and all this stuff. So, pre-preparation of rites is great, allows me to search out the lovely Herald and also Dawn of the Herald. But the problem is that I am searching out Dawn of the Herald, and Dawn of the Herald is very restrictive in the fact that you can only use exactly 6 levels for a ritual summon. So it really does slow you down. Unlike others that are 6 or more, you have to have 6. So with this, I have 2 Herald to Perfection and then 2 Saphira as well. So Saphira is really great because it adds a lot of speed to the deck. Also just a couple of different options. And it just means that you don't die straight away if you don't have like Herald or anything like that. So really like the 2 and 2. I was originally playing like 3 and 1. But the problem was if I drew a Saphira or the ritual spell, which is Hymn of Light, then I can't search it with pre-preparation of rites, so it was really annoying. So I've just put them at 2, and it's working out really well at 2. You only get very unlucky if you have if you open up with like 2 of those in your opening hand, which can be a bit annoying, but you can get around it. The interesting thing is I'm not playing Herald of Ultimateness, simply because I really don't like the idea of having to use 12 levels on my side of the field or in my hand to summon it out. And yeah, with things like Solemn Strike running around, I want to try and minimize how much I commit to the board. And if I do get strikes, excuse me, if I don't have the Royal Decree, then it's not going to be a complete game ender. So playing those 4 as standard. Next up, we have the 3 Manju. Obviously, we play 3 Manju simply because it's a ritual deck, so you play 3 of them. I don't remember how long I've had those cards, those DT ones, but it's been a very long time. So then we have the 3 Scepter and then also the 3 Sovereignty. Still playing this engine because it's just one of the best little engines you can play for fairies. And the amount of advantage it nets you by just drawing 2 and then 3 is just so good. So there's no reason not to run these in my opinion. And yeah, really do like playing them. So the other engine that I have is the Spirit engine. Still sticking with the Spirit engine right now. When and if, more like, Artifact Moral Attack goes to 2 or 3, then I might switch back to the Artifact engine, depending on how useful Scythe is as well in the meta. So Scythe is not that great against the meta right now, with Cosmo being the top dog, so that's why I don't really pay attention to the Artifact build as such. But yeah, so 3 Nikotama is one of the most important spirits, just being able to normal summon it, and then normal summon another spirit from your hands. And very important other effect, if it goes to the graveyard when there's another spirit on your side of the field, you can then draw a card. So it's important combos with like Fairy Cheer Girl, for example. So yeah, really solid, great card. Then we have 2 Eret Armor. Eret Armor is a bit of a letdown for the deck. While it searches out any spirit apart from itself, which is really good, the downside is that it's a Dark and a Fiend, so more so the Fiend, so that you can't actually really use it with Herald of Perfection. So that's why I have it at 2, so it also doesn't clog. 3 was really cloggy. I used to run it at 3, and I just kind of palmed it off to the fact that, oh well, I'm running card of 3, I'm going to see it more often, but I need it. So after extensive testing, I've cut it down to 2, and it just ran so much nicer. I didn't see multiple ones in my opening hand, and so on and so forth like that, so 2 Eret Armor is really good. Next up, we have 2 of the Yamato no Kami. Now, you might be like, why are you playing this card? 2 very good reasons. If you don't know what its effect does, it is a level 6 Spirit Warrior, and you can banish you special summon it by removing from play 1 spell Spirit Monster from your graveyard, and then obviously it returns to the owner's hand at the end. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. So it's really nice for popping up back row. The other really important thing is, it's a searchable target so that I can use it with Dawn of the Herald because it is a level 6. And the way that Dawn of the Herald works is that I'll use this as a ritual tribute, goes to the graveyard, then I'll just banish Dawn and get it back. So I've not really lost anything. So that's why I like to have a few level 6s. I don't play any Megamis because there's literally no point. I don't run Advanced Ritual Art in this version. Just to show you a type of hybrids with just pre-preparation rites, that's what this is. But yeah, really, really solid card, 2/2, being able to summon it quite easy. And the other thing as well is that... if, for example, you have Eret Armor and Eret Armor in your hand, you can go Eret Armor, Eret Armor, search this, banish a spirit from your graveyard to special summon this, and then you can overlay into like an XZ, detach Eret Armor, and because this is there, get a draw a card. So there's nice little combos. It's completely up to you if you want to run 2 or 3. It just depends on how big your engine is. Next up, we have 2 Izami, one of the main recycling cards in this deck. Being able to discard like dead Eret Armors or anything that might be dead is really, really important. The fact that you do just discard a card is just so good. So if you've got like a dead Himmelite in hand, you can discard that, put it in the grave, and then you can protect your other rituals with its effects. So yeah, really, really nice, and 2 Izami works nicely. And also it's a water, so if you do need to go into Abyss Dweller, it's pretty simple. Next up, we have the 1 Azora Priest. The Azora Priest really good, especially when you use it with Honest. But just in general, nice to kind of wipe the board a little bit, put an extra bit of pressure on your opponent, and it's just really, really nice. Next up, the 1 Reatsu is I just really like this card. Being able to reveal a spirit monster in your hand to then return a face-up attack position monster on the field to the owner's hand is really, really good. So a Reatsu just being able to get rid of any problem, Xyz or anything like that you want to get off the board. So really, really nice. It also works if it's face down and flip face up in the battle phase, or damage step, sorry, you reveal, and then, yeah, it's all good. The 1 Yakshin. Now, you can play 2 of these if you do want, or you can play 3. It's completely down to yourself. I'm just playing 1 right now, but I'd side the others. And it's just so good being able to bounce back row, and being a 1/9 and a water is just pretty decent. Next up, we have 2 Senior Supremo Krystia. We have 2 of these because 2 works just quite nicely. If you run 3, it's a little bit too much in my opinion, and I don't really like it anymore. I did used to play 3 and it just horribly clogged at times, so yeah. I mean, with the certain amount of graveyard modulation that I can do, it's not too bad having 2. So yeah, maybe in the future I might bump it up to 3, especially if the new, what's it called? The new ritual field spell, when that comes out, I might test that at 3. But the deck, again, will take a whole different change when that comes out. 2 Honest. Honest is Honest. Just kind of standard in this deck. You need to run it. And I love my ghosts. This should really be going to 3 by now, but come on, Konami. Not before I get my 3rd, anyway. So, going on to the spells, we have 3 pre-preparation of rites. Finally, this card is legal. Now, there are some problems with this card that are glaringly obvious, but still annoy me that I want to talk about. So, pre-preparation of rites, you add a ritual spell card from your deck to your hand, and then you add 1 ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, whose name is listed on the ritual spell. So, you can search out, for example, Dawn of the Herald or Hymn of Light. Then, and only then, can you search out the ritual monster. You have to have the ritual monster to be able to resolve the effect. So it's very important, but it's good that you can get it from the graveyard, so it just means that you're not going to be seeing so many dead pre-preparation of rites. It's a nice little discard cost, discard target for Izami as well, but just pre-preparation of rites just gets the deck going quite nicely. The big problem that I've found is simply Dawn of the Herald, because it doesn't say 6 or more levels to summon Herald. It's such a pain. Like, Himmelite says 6 or more, and if Dawn of the Herald didn't say 6 exactly, this deck would be much better in my opinion, but because it says 6, yeah. But pre-preparation of rites is really good, and I'm running it at 3 because it's just so good. And then we also have returned to the 1 preparation of rites, the original. Look at these 2 beauties side by side. It's quite nice to see, isn't it? So yeah, the one prep is just good. It works, and it's just quite nice. As I said, being able to just get the ritual monster from the deck and then search out the then add a ritual spell card from your graveyard is quite nice. So it's completely down to yourself if you want to run this. I just do it just to get more targets and speed it up a little, and it's a nice +1 as well if you can pull it off. Then for the ritual spells, we have the 2 Dawn of the Herald and then 2 Hymn of Light. Obviously, it makes sense. I have 2 targets, might as well run 2. Hymn of Light's normally going to be banished as well as... well, Dawn of the Herald is going to be the one that's banished the most, and then Hymn of Light will be as well. Just being able to protect any ritual monster on my side of the field is nice. And Dawn of the Herald allowing me to get back the cost that I used to summon out the Herald. Because you can banish it and then add one of the tributed monsters back to your hand. So it's really, really nice. And yeah, I don't really say too much about them, but it's weird running no advanced ritual art, I tell you. Then we have the 1 Raigeki. Clearing the board is quite nice. And yeah, just good in general. And then finally the 2 Royal Decree. I just like having the Royal Decrees because, yeah, it's Royal Decree. Don't like traps, don't like strike. So kind of pretty obvious. Then going on to the extra deck, we have 2 Fairy Cheer Girl. In testing, I was actually going through Fairy Cheer Girls really quickly just to kind of dig through the deck. So I decided to put in a second, and yeah, it's working out really well. I often do go into it just to get draws, and then next turn I might be able to get into another one. But I'll normally only do it really if I can do the Nikotama combo, which I mentioned earlier. One of the ones that you can do is, as I said, if you have Yamato no Kami, you summon out the 2 level 4s and then Kami. Then you go into this, detach, draw. So it's quite nice and works quite well. Sorry for hitting the camera there. I keep doing that. Next up we have the 1 Deltaros and the 1 number 104. These are here because I play the Star Seraph, so it's pretty obvious. You have to have some requiring level 3s. You can play Ouroboros if you like, but I'm preferring Masquerades currently. Simply because Cosmo is just like one of the best decks, so yeah, it's pretty good. 1 Daigusto Emerald, just to recycle in anything that I might need for the future. The 1 Rebellion Dragon, just to get over any problem high monsters. The 1 Silent Honor Arc, because it's still a really good card. The 1 Utopia, now for people who are in America, I am not playing Lightning, because it is not legal for us over here. The thing is, if it's printed in the manga isn't technically legal in Europe, so we have to wait until it's printed in like a special edition or in a tin or something like that before we can legally play it. So if Lightning was legal, I will play Lightning, but unfortunately we can't. So Utopia's here just to stop any possible OTKs or protect anything that I want to try and keep alive for next turn. The 1 Starliege Paladynamo. 1 Giant Hands, because more negation is a nice thing. The 1 Gagaga Cowboy. The 1 Castel. I know, rip, it's not ultimate. The 1 Abyss Dweller, because Burning Abyss is still one of the best decks of the format. The 1 Illuminescent Knight, even though no one really runs Breakthrough Skill anymore. And then finally the 1 Rhapsody. Again, no one really runs Breakthrough Skill, but it's kind of important to note. You can, if you so wish, run rank 6s if you feel comfortable doing that, like an M7 or a Strike Bouncer. It's completely down to yourself, but I don't, just because, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I feel like I don't really go into them very often, so that's why I don't do it. But that is it, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the new deck. I'm sure everyone was waiting for this, so hopefully it isn't too late for you. This should be coming out on a Tuesday. So let me know down in the comment section below what you think of pre-preparation rites in this deck. I will be doing more decks that require pre-preparation rites, so do not worry, they will be coming soon. And as I said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck. Make sure to leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.